The following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Candice Michelle. And the opponent, from New York, New York, Ashley.
A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for? No one's ever going to confuse Candice with a mat tactician, but there's more to sports entertainment than knowing 100 different holds.
Yeah, but if Candice wanted to learn a few, I'd be more than happy to show her.
My, what a generous offer, King. And to think, some people say you're not a gentleman. Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not gonna end well. Candice is one of my favorite WWE divas, JR. I loved her centerfold. It left absolutely nothing to the imagination.
I guess that's lucky for you then, King, because after hearing some of the lines you've used on the Divas over the years, I'm not sure imagination...
Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick! There's the reversal!
What a reversal!
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of a job. Ashley is one diva who doesn't know the meaning of the word quit.
Yeah, or the meaning of the words, call me back when you get this. I must have left a dozen messages for her in the past couple of days.
What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all.
I don't care how you feel about this superstar, JR. Nobody should have to go through this.
It's painful just watching it, King. Oh, man. This is an excruciating but effective method of winning a match.
Yeah, and it's a surefire method of birth control, too. Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over them.
Oh boy, these top rope moves can go either way. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Looks like someone's heading for the high rent district. I don't see why Candice agreed to this match, JR. She should join us on commentary. She can sit on my lap, and we can talk about the first thing that pops up. Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the ways you could come down that hurt. Ashley's stamina is incredible. Most divas would be completely exhausted by now.
What are you talking about? She doesn't look that tired to me.
She should be. She's been running through my mind all night long. These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's. This is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous. I certainly question some of Candice's techniques from time to time, but there's no denying that she's got a fierce competitive spirit and some serious athletic ability.
Not to mention an incredible pair of legs. I wonder what time they open. Oh man, I'd like nothing better than for Ashley to take me home and call me daddy.
Or grandpa, as the case may be.
Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment.
This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand in sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue. That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's gonna go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
That these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
Right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up.
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff. I don't think I want to know, quite frankly. You know, King, I'm not sure that Candice is all there most of the time. She seems a little spacey to me.
That makes sense, JR. I think her ring career might have been made on the moon, because her body is out of this world.
You know, just when I think you can't embarrass me any further, you somehow find a way.
Oh, come on, JR. You know you love it. And I know I love watching Candice in action. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leap. These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it?
Listen, mister, Ashley's more than just another pretty face, but she certainly is a beautiful young diva.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful smile, but what I really love is her...
The next words out of your mouth had better be her competitive spirit.
Man, you're the only person I know who can take the fun out of watching Ashley in action.
I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed.
You talk about ruthless aggression and the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... No. Go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker. There's no room for error when you're on the top rope. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure are. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser.
Oh boy, you might want to close your eyes, JR. This one could get ugly.
You're damn right it could. It could get bowling shoe ugly. And then, oh man, I think we're about to see a high-risk move here.
Oh boy, this looks like an all-or-nothing move.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight. I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight?
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle.
Here's your winner,